Please silence all cell phones, and we'll hear from Ms. Annette from the Secretary.
Hello, everyone. I got my voice back. For the week of 1/5 through 1/21, we have no member birthdays. For the birthdays, we have Marie Thompson, which is Tom Thompson's wife, on Monday, her birthday. Don't forget. Member anniversaries. Jared Brasso will be 4 years in the club tomorrow. I don't think Jared's here. Mr. Don Chauvin will be 28 years in the club on Sunday. And tomorrow will make 3 years for Mr. Mike Savoy. We have no wedding anniversaries. Do we have any Rotarians with guests? No Rotarians with guests, okay. I didn't have anything that I pulled up for this week, event-wise in town. Does someone know of something else going on? It'll be a quiet week. Good weather, though. Go have fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Annette. Just a few announcements before we get to our program. We're passing around information on the mid-year assembly. District is really stressing the importance of having a good turnout. There's some things that need to be voted on at that session. So if you can make it, it's Saturday, February 1st, 2020, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Home 2 Suites. And again, that's being passed around. Annette's going to send an email out for you guys. You can register online so they can get a head count and make sure you get a meal. I think it's Zia's that's catering, so for anything, go out there for that meal. But yeah, we need all the members we can for the vote that they need. Don, do you want to touch on anything about the vote? Or?
Yeah, the issue of moving the Lafayette office to Baton Rouge is going to be the primary issue that's going to be voted upon. Nothing else that I know of, business-wise, will be presented, but your vote's going to be critical. There'll be a presentation by the Baton Rouge folks as to their offer. It's a generous offer, okay? The question is it worth our while? And that's a decision the delegates are going to make. I think Abbeville is now entitled to maybe 3 delegates. You'll need to designate those before the meeting.
Okay, so I would need to know who's actually going to be attending that meeting, and then help me out. So, okay, so we got 5, 6 of us. Okay, 7. All right, well, thank you guys for that. I announced it last week. It's official. February 12th is our annual state night, and it will be hosted at Crawfish Haven. Again, they expanded on their outdoor space, so we're going to have a little bit more space to move around in. It should be a good event. Next week, we're having a little bit of a field trip, so our meeting will not be here. Next week, our field trip will be at the Louisiana Gun Range in Maurice. First red light, take a left, and it's 1 block on the left there. Second red light.
Second red light.
I always think of the first
Two
light. Second red light, take a left, and it's 1 block. So that's Louisiana Gun Range in Maurice. We'll have our lunch there, and they'll give us a tour of the facility. Coming up, our biggest fundraiser of the year, March 21st, St. Pat's Comedy for a Cause. We're collecting all auction items, live and silent. If you guys want to start submitting those, you can bring it to me, you can bring it to Rob's place, or you can just bring it at a meeting. Again, that's March 21st. If you want to lock in seats or a table, now's the time to do it so we can lock that in. All right, no other announcements, but I do have a little bit of a trivia, and this is going to play into our program for today. So, what do you guys think is listed as Americans' number 1 fear? Fear? Number 1 fear in America. Public speaking is the number 1 fear in America. With that being said, we have 2 representatives of Toastmasters here to speak with us. And they're going to tell us all about their program. I thought it was interesting. About a couple of weeks ago, I got an email from Rotary International, and it was explaining their partnership with Toastmasters International and how the 2 clubs are coming together to work on many projects, but public speaking obviously is top of the list on that. So I got with John, I said it would be a great program. I thought it was interesting that I ran into a few Rotarians that didn't know what Toastmasters program was or what they're all about. Toastmasters for me came around in high school and got you involved in I was mentioning to him, I said, hey, should I print out a speech and just hand it to somebody and say, hey, go give this speech? And that's usually what they did in the beginning stages, at least when I went through it. But anyhow, without further ado, I'm going to call up Mr. Bobby Donlon to come up and tell us a little bit about Toastmasters.
Laura, go loud.
She'd come up with you. I just thought you all go one by one.
Good afternoon. My name is Bobby Donlon. Laura's going to talk in a little while about Toastmasters. It's good that we're going to partner with the Rotary Club Toastmasters. Toastmasters has been around since 1924, and they've been helping people with public speaking and leadership skills, people on all walks of life since that time. We have 16,000 clubs in 143 different countries, more than 385,000 members at any given time. Now, the first meetings took place in 1924, although we didn't allow women to come into our club until 1970, and golly, now they've taken over. Because 51%, a little bit more than 51% of our members now are women. But that is definitely a good thing. There's many benefits to Toastmasters. It really helps you build confidence, self-confidence, when it makes you easy, feel much easier to speak in front of a group. It can improve your public speaking skills and help your self-confidence and personal growth. It allows you to get a competitive advantage in the workplace. Just think if you'd be much more comfortable in talking with your customers and with your fellow co-workers, how much easier it would be to get some work done. It allows you to maximize your potential by being able to think clearly on your feet. One of the things we do in Toastmasters is we toss a topic out to somebody in the audience, and they have to come forward and speak for 2 minutes on that topic. It allows you to be able to think on your feet much more clearly. I've been in Toastmasters now for 37 years. And the reason I've been in Toastmasters for 37 years, it took me a long time to be confident on my feet. But I've been in there because I've seen new people come into Toastmasters and gain the abilities and the speaking self-confidence that I've gotten. And it's been very rewarding to me. So I've been helping other people for years, helping them become self-confident and mentoring them to become better public speakers. You can build your leadership skills because in Toastmasters you serve with different officers and you can become better acquainted with the leadership roles of those. You can work on networking in a small supportive group, because each club has 15, 20 members, and you can network with them, and you can form a special group with them. And one thing about our speeches, when people give speeches in Toastmasters, there's always evaluations. Everybody that gives a speech has an evaluator that gives the speaker a little feedback. They talk about their use of gestures, their eye contact, their body language, vocal variety, tone and inflection, everything to point out to them maybe that there's some of their weaknesses they don't see it, so they can correct those weaknesses. Many people don't realize sometimes that they're saying, you so, when they're speaking. And we have a special person in our meetings, Laura's going to talk a little bit more about that later. They call it the archon. And at the end of the meeting, the archon is going to get up and say, you had so many hours, and you had so many hours. So pointing those things out in a friendly, supportive way, so that next time you can point out and kind of concentrate on not saying those hours or those word fillers that we call, because those are all those word fillers. It's much more easier to just stop and pause and go on to what you say. Because when we say it's just we just kind of lost our thought away, our thoughts for a minute, and then we're saying something else. So a pause is just what's better for that. We practice writing speeches all the time because that's how we learn better communications in Toastmasters. Speech writing skills, enabling us to become better at presenting speeches in a small setting. We have access to the Pathways program. That's what the greatest thing that's happening now in Toastmasters is the Pathway program. We used to speak in manuals, and you could follow with management or public relations manuals, but now Toastmasters has transitioned into an educational program called Pathways. And there's 11 different pathways that you can choose when you become a member of Toastmasters. One of the first ones is dynamic leadership. It focuses on the type of leader that you could be and how Toastmaster members can bring it out in you, the type of leader you are, and make you a better leader in everything that you do in life. Effective coaching is another one. It introduces you to mentoring, being a better mentor to other people and in your lives, and engaging in humor. Hey, you want to be a comedian? Well, Toastmasters, put humor in your speech. Toastmasters International has a way of doing that. You can concentrate on using humor. Innovative planning, how you can learn to work outside the box. So that's a special program for innovative planning. Motivational strategies, how to become a much better motivator. That's another program that Toastmasters has. And these programs are geared to the individual member when they first signed up. Persuasive influence is another one. How you can become a more dynamic, persuasive speaker. And in your job, in every way what you do, just think of if you have more persuasion in your talk, how much better you are to get things done and how people think your way. Strategic relationships, how you can network better in everything that you do in life and how you can get your jobs accomplished much better. Team collaborations, how you can become a better team leader and work in collaboration with others and getting jobs done. And visionary communication, you practice the skills of being a visionary leader and working with visual aids and PowerPoint and those things. There are many, many programs that the Toastmasters our representatives have to allow you to better your life. And those things all happen through the Toastmasters program. It costs really not very much. It costs $45 twice a year. Every 6 months, collect the $45 to join Toastmasters, and with a new member fee of $20. And you get access to those pathways. You get a magazine every month. And a magazine is written by articles from other Toastmaster members, from other clubs, telling things that happen in their clubs that allow you to learn some things that they are doing. So that's the way Toastmasters work. Now, in the club itself, there's different meeting roles that's going to take place that allow you to gain leadership skills in those roles. Every time, though, that you give a speech, you are going to be evaluated by one of the other speakers in the club, and by those evaluators. And that you can build on. And the evaluators will have a printout from the pathways, looking for what you need to accomplish in that special speech. And then you can go on and use that evaluation to work on your next speech. I'm going to call Laura Gola. Laura Gola has been in our club for 4 years. She's been a Toastmaster really about 12 years. And she's the past president of Lafayette Toastmasters Club. And I'm going to talk to you about the different roles we have in our club.
Hello, how are y'all doing today? Wow, you guys got a cook over here. It's amazing. We can give her a hand for that great meal. I'm blessed today. Thank you so much, y'all. So I want to share a little bit of why I joined Toastmasters. I moved here from the Dallas-Fort Worth area 6 years ago with my husband, a transfer on his job. And I wanted to find out how I could connect more with the community. I am a connector. I took the Strength Finders test. Anybody ever done that? I took that test and I found out my number one strength is connecting. So I knew I had to get out. I didn't want to start over. I was mad. I left my grandbabies in Fort Worth and I was mad. I didn't want to be here. But I'm so glad that I did. My husband retired and we're still here. We're stuck. We loved it. So I love the Acadiana area. So I walked into a Toastmasters club and somebody like Bobby and Joel Felton, Richard Wolf, there's several wonderful, great leaders, come up to me and said, "You want to do this?" And I says, "Well, not really." I come because I was mentoring a young lady and she told me she wanted to learn how to speak like me. And I'm like, "Are you serious? I am so scared to speak." But I joined, I went in and I showed up at the O'Charlie's. And guess what? My mentee didn't show up with me. But I had several other people come inside me and say, "Yeah, we need a secretary. Would you be a secretary?" "What? I haven't joined yet." But it was such a friendly atmosphere, you guys, and I have gotten so involved with it. I just fell in love with Toastmasters. I had heard about it in the Fort Worth area. I went to it one time when I was going through a hard time in my life because somebody told me that you need to build your confidence back up, and so that was a place that they suggested. So I was building my confidence there, and I did it for about a year. Didn't really get into it like I have here. So I've been in it for 5 years. Thank you, Annie and Bobby and Joelle. I mean, there's several of them that I can say thank you because they kept me there, kept encouraging me to get up here and speak. Can't tell you how many times I went home, left the club, went home crying all the way to Youngsville because I said, "Oh, I just really messed that one up," because it's easy for you to, you're usually your worst critic, right? So I just kept hanging in there. They kept encouraging me because you do get a mentor that asks you to speak and keep speaking, and you just keep making mistakes and keep coming up here and doing this, But anyway, I loved it, and I am so excited about the convergence of these two great clubs. I mean, this is going to be so awesome, you guys. I was in Corpus Christi here a few years ago, and I wrote my mission statement. So I'm all about mission statements. When I want to know something about a company, I look at their core values or their mission statement, whatever they have there on their website. So I looked at the Rotary mission statement, and it was this: "It is where neighbors, friends, and problem solvers share ideas, join leaders, and take action to create lasting change." Versus Toastmasters, our mission of a Toastmasters club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. We're big about personal growth because how many of you know you can't change nobody but yourself, right? Personal growth. Good luck with that. So, yeah, I've been working hard at that. So, a little bit about Toastmasters, the club itself. We meet on Thursday nights, like Bobby said, at the Olive Garden there in Lafayette. And we are, I think we got 21 members in our team, in our club right now. 15, give and take, come and go, and are in attendance each week. We have different roles, like Bobby said. But first of all, I want to tell you about the area, district, and the division. We have club, we have area, we have district, and then we have the division of Toastmasters. And we also have contests in each one of those levels. We do it in the club, they select you, and you get to go to area. Then you get another contest, you get to go to district, and then you get to go to division. And then we also have the World Championship of Public Speaking. And it's in Paris this year, you guys. I'm so excited. Of course, I'm not going, but who knows? Who knows what will happen. But we had our very own Joel Dawson from Lafayette. He went to the World Championship of Public Speaking in Washington, D.C. in 2018. You guys, that's big. That's big. That's a lot of speakers he competed with. And he came in like third place or something. But anyway, we were so proud of him. He's a wonderful communication coach also. So we have in the club itself, you have the president, you have the vice president of education, you have the vice president of membership, which is Bobby. You have the vice president of public relations, which is myself this year. We have a secretary, treasurer, and then we have a sergeant at arms. Sergeant at arms is probably the same thing y'all maybe have here, just somebody that comes and sets up all this stuff, right? So you can have your club meeting. And as the VPPR, just going to share a little bit about my role. I have a few of the responsibilities. Number one, I'm promoting the club. I'm always talking positive about the club and how exciting it is to be a part of Toastmasters. Always trying to keep our name with integrity, right? I'm sure y'all do that also. Interacting with the media about events, promoting the marketing materials, writing press releases, networking, and relationship building. So that is what I do as my role, and Bobby does the membership. He goes through the applications and all that, you know. And so there's really great leadership, skill building opportunities in a Toastmaster club. Last week I shared a vision of what I felt like I got at the beginning of the year. And I had 2 words that were given to me, and they just kept going over and over in your spirit. You know how, does that ever happen to y'all? You just some word, and somebody comes up and says it to you, and you're going, I just heard that yesterday, or whatever, you know, you just kind of like, wow, where's that coming from? Well, 2 of the words were convergence, and then synergy. And I had both of those come to me, and so last week I got up and I kind of shared that as my table topic when I was asked to do a table topic impromptu type speaking, you know, so that's the only thing I could think of. But convergence is a movement toward a common point, a destination or a goal, which is what we're all doing at Toastmasters. We're all trying to become better communicators, overcoming the fear, and becoming good leaders in our community. Synergy is a combination for increased energy and power to work together to multiply production, energy, and strength. Now, you guys, both of these mission statements, I just see the convergence, how it's going to really be a great combination of energy and power to reach out to the community and build stronger people, much better leadership in our community. And I'm excited about this convergence, and I hope that you guys are too. So another thing I wanted to share about going back to the club itself. So we have a website that you can go on if you decide you want to speak one week, and you decide you've got your icebreaker is always the first one. That's all about you. So I know you all have an icebreaker, right? You can talk about yourself. So that is our number one speech to begin with. So you go online or go onto our website, because once you get your membership involved, and you go online and set up your account and stuff, you just hit, I want to be speaker number 1. I want to be an evaluator. I want to be the Toastmaster for the evening, and that is you're getting up and you're running the whole show like Bart does, right? That's what the Toastmaster does. And then you've got the Master Evaluator who evaluates everything going on in the club. And then you have a Table Topic Master, and he's the one that's going to be bringing all the impromptu part of this is the scariest part. They're saying, oh no, you know, they ask for volunteers to come up, and if they don't, then they might pick you and say, hey, come on up here. And you've got to speak for 2 minutes about something, who knows what. But anyway, so we have 4 speakers available that you can speak. We have the evaluators of each one of those speakers. And then we have an all counter, like Bobby said, and they will be counting your ums, ohs, so's, buts, and lip smacks, or whatever you've got to do to pause and think of that next thing to say, right? So we got a timer, we got a listen master, and that listen master takes down questions about the speak, because we all know communication is a lot of what you're listening to. Are you listening, paying attention? So she writes down questions and we answer those. And that is about it. It's a fun time. We try to make it as fun as we can because we've had a hard day. We want to have some fun tonight. You know, we usually, some of us break a meal, some of us eat just salad, some of us drink a glass of wine, whatever they do there. You know, at the Olive Garden, we have a great time together. We're just like one big family. Try to support each other and encourage each other. We give feedback, like he said, evaluating on the speeches themselves. So we have a great time, and I'm so excited. I hope I see some of your faces there, and I am excited to know more about Rotary myself. So thank you so much for allowing us to come and share our hearts with y'all.
Briefly, I want to tell you about our club, Lafayette Toastmasters. The club our Lord says we meet at the Olive Garden every single Thursday night, and we meet for an hour and a half from 7 to 8:30. You put your name down on the agenda and you say one of those parts. It's going to be really, really nice to partner with the Rotary Club. I look forward to it. It's so new that I really don't know a whole lot about it, but I look forward to it. It's going to be really impressive. We're going to both benefit from this because it's going to help both of our organizations. So I'm glad that we are here to be able to give you this presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions? I have some brochures here up on the table if you have some questions. Or if you want to pick one up.
Are any of our current Rotarians here in Toastmasters currently? I'm just curious.
Or has anyone taken or been a member of Toastmasters?
Many, many years ago.
Is there an age limit as far as when you can start?
18. You want to start at 18.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you guys. I have a couple of things for you here. This is Dr. Lambert.
How many members do you have in Lafayette?
We have 3 clubs in Lafayette. We have 21 members at our club. The Evangeline Club has about 22 members, and the CGS Club has about 14 or 15 members. Yes.
Do you have any idea how the partnership is structured between Toastmaster and Rotary, and what's the expectations?
It's so new, I really don't know. I wish I could tell you, but I don't know myself. We just heard about it at our training a couple of weeks ago. And we're gonna, I'm sure, we got the email, but they're going to give us a lot more information on that, how it's going to all work.
Correct. On our end, they didn't give any guidelines. They just said, hey, this is what we're going to be doing for the 2020, 2021. And we just want to introduce to our local Toastmasters and meet them. Yes, sir.
That's statewide or nationwide or?
As far as the partnership?
Yes.
Globally.
International.
And both of our organizations are international, so it's going to be international.
Yeah, it's an international partnership. How it's going to take place and what is going to be involved has not been put down yet.
I'm just curious, what are some of the impromptu questions that they might pick you to get up and talk? I'm just curious, like what would be thrown at you?
What would be thrown at you? Well, whatever the theme of the night might be.
Okay.
Or something about yourself. Say, oh, have you ever read this book? And what did you like about it? Or a TV show or whatever. We just want to get to know you more. And just to see how that
there membership dues? What are they?
So the membership dues are $60 every 6 months, $20 international first time, one and only time you have to pay international. So it's $120 a year for a great education, a great place where you can step out of your comfort zone and learn. It's just a great learning platform, you know. So,
Any other questions?
hope I see some faces there.
I'm going to get you to, if you don't mind. ID, you do, you get a free lunch. All right, last four, 2444. 2444. I don't think this ever happened. You got it? All right, come on down. But no further business, we'll call this meeting adjourned.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was you or someone else, but I saw it.